Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff.
Hey.
Ka-chow.
What's that?
Shit.
What?
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. I feel like that's more of a betting episode thing.
Doesn't matter. Like, let's get it back in the flow of things.
Time to get this party started. Today is Sunday, August 23rd, and we are back at it after an extended layoff and potentially an unsuccessful recording earlier in the week.
That was just knocking the rust off. We were just knocking the rust off.
It was not ideal, and I'm glad we did not go live on YouTube like we are right now.
Yeah.
But get ready for the hot takes. They'll be flowing as we prepare to tackle the upcoming football seasons, both in the college and professional football worlds. Before we get into that, as a reminder, you can follow us at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get your bell on!
Ding, ding.
Get that bell on. And as a reminder, and maybe some information for any new listeners, new watchers out there, who are we? We are Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. We, throughout the football seasons, will have some Sunday/Monday recordings to recap the football week that was. And on Wednesdays, likely, I think that's what we came to, we will have betting primers for the upcoming college and professional football weekends. Get all of your betting fill on Wednesday night. It is myself, Muff, Jim, Alex, and he's just another degenerate from Ohio, Nemi. Nate removes himself from the betting episodes.
He's not a degenerate.
He
Says who?
Well,
Not
the
that
powers
kind.
that be in the NFL and whatnot, they don't need to know.
I'm just not a betting degenerate.
Right, there we go.
Is the guru of glitter back there? Can she vouch for degenerate status?
She's up there in her sweatshop.
Okay.
On the,
All right.
I think he's missing opening night of the
I know.
podcast.
All right. Just to recap, I am the original degenerate and the steer guider of this rudderless ship. Joined alongside the Ohio homer, the Ohio degenerate, and the capo of the Midwest crack house, Jim.
Hello, friends. Hello.
We have the guru of officiating, a man that will be out there on probably every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and some Saturdays, Nate.
As I was this week.
It's a tough life out there, Nate.
And don't forget today, so 5 days in a row. Happy to have a day off tomorrow.
All right. Day off tomorrow. Are the parents just as awesome as they were last year, Nate?
They were fine today.
Okay, that's good. And last, certainly not least, he's just our resident medical degenerate, Alex.
That's me.
And that makes up the full barn, typically on Sunday nights for our football recaps. But this is not a recap day. This is a primer.
Recap.
This is a little bit of an introduction for the college football season, specifically in the Big Ten and the Big 12. But since we have been gone for so long, guys, it's been like almost 6-ish months.
Yeah. We tried to come back sooner, but
We went on a spiritual journey.
Did you, Jim?
That's what I'm calling it. The podcast went on a spiritual journey.
The podcast
Like the
did.
Yeah.
Alex, what do we need? Crystals? Is that what we
I
need?
did not put any crystals in my butt.
Is that part of your journey, Jim?
Did you go into a dark room, Jim?
I did not go into a dark room.
No ayahuasca?
No ayahuasca for me. I do not subscribe to the Aaron
Just
Rodgers
anthrax.
spiritual journeys. This is a different spiritual journey.
Yeah, Alex, you missed this before we got started. Jim's worried that he may have ingested, I don't know, anthrax, asbestos, something.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll unpack that later.
Then at an old stereo, and I think there was anthrax on it.
Straight for the big one. Let's do a little bit of a recap of some non-football storylines from the time that was us away from podcasting.
Yep.
Spain wins the World Cup.
Yay.
Ole, 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 ole.
The cup did not go back home to England, and the United States team is exactly who we thought they were, even though DJT may have inserted himself into the Balogun red card reversal.
Keep politics
The
out of
Knicks.
sports. Isn't that what people say?
What was that, Alex?
He
Keep
did
politics out
insert
of sports.
himself
Isn't that
into
what
that
people say?
situation. He did. That we argued about this during the bumpy road.
I said he did.
Was it effective? No.
It was effective because it was reversed.
Yeah, but it didn't change the outcome of the game.
You don't know that. It could have changed it for the
Well,
worse.
that's true. That's true. In Donald Trump news, since I just had to pull this up,
This we're already.
did you know there was a Grand Prix race today in DC?
No.
And he had to be taught how to hold the flag. Look it
Well,
up.
Jim,
The
we've been
green
trying to
flag
teach you how
started the
to
race.
find the links for Riverside for
The-
2 years now. So
I knew that was coming, but there's Twitter outrage and viralness over him holding a flag. So, just wanted to put that out there. That's some of the sports news there with DJT as you put him in there.
okay. All right. The Knicks end a 53-year NBA championship drought, take out the Spurs in the final series.
This pleases me, but only for the team, not for James Dolan.
There we go. Also in the NBA, we have LeBron James headed to Philadelphia.
Wait, can we go back to the Knicks for a second? Do you think like this takes away from their fandom? Like, does this like take some of the vitriol away from the fans, or do you think they're gonna be just as angry?
If they've ever
They're
been
just like
super
how-
angry.
Well, they're New Yorkers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're Knicks fans.
Mm-hmm.
They had like that chip to them. Does it go away?
No, it just gets bigger.
See, that's what I think too, Nate. That's what I think too.
We'll see. Got a little bit of time before the NBA comes back. When it does, as I said, LeBron will be in Philadelphia. He is a 76er.
I
feel like this is more for Nemi. I feel like Nemi would have more opinions on this than any of us.
hold to what I told you guys before, that I think this is, if nothing else, has actually brought faith of mine into the NBA world.
Yeah.
Like, if
I
he would have
forgot you
gone
said
back
that.
to Cleveland and won a championship, I would have been like, this is all pageantry. It's all fake. NBA rigged. If something was going to be rigged, that would be the sport that I would side with Jim on rigged with. But the fact that he's not makes me think maybe it's not.
What if Philly sucks and he ends up going back there?
Back to Cleveland.
To Cleveland? No, I think this is it. He has to hang him up after this, right?
I don't
Right, but
think
what I'm
he's
saying,
got any
what
more
if
years
Philly
in him.
I'm like, what if Philly just completely sucks and
Uh-huh.
LeBron asks for his release to go back to Cleveland?
He's on a vet min, so I'm not going to say that that's not possible, but I don't feel like he's going to like jump ship for a ship that is probably trying to make it work for him.
Hmm.
If anything, he's going to jump ship to be a full-time like YouTube golfer at this point.
Yeah.
He's got the golf bug.
I think it's more, this whole situation is a commentary on the sadness of Cleveland. To see Cleveland fans like excited that this may be a possibility, and forego Alex's point that like, wouldn't that mean it's rigged? Like, wouldn't that mean like this is all scripted? That they just didn't care. They just needed that happiness in their lives, and they didn't get it, is more a testament to how sad Cleveland sports fans are.
This is a sad, sad place up on the lake. The Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup. Jim was at a game last year.
Yeah, Hurricanes are good. I don't know, honestly, a team that's better. Like, they're just a good hockey team.
Well, they
And
finally
it's
got over
the
that
town.
hump too of playoff issues too.
Yeah. And the town, the state, like, we talked about it before on this podcast. Like, that whole area is obsessed with the Hurricanes. Like, it's like Ohio State on ice for them. Like, it's crazy. So that's a cool fan base.
Indeed. I've been to a Hurricanes game before, once or twice. I think they were both against the Penguins when I visited Raleigh. So, yeah, fun time. The WNBA signed their collective bargaining agreement. This is again since the time we've been away. They're deep into their season now, and the sport has only remained in the spotlight since, for any number of reasons, whether they're positive, potentially negative, or we have no idea what's going to happen in the future. That's the WNBA people.
We'll be cutting in.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely, if nothing else, in like random pop culture references and stuff, they keep making themselves known.
They're 100% relevant. I will never argue against that.
I feel like that's more than like whenever I was younger or growing up. Like, I don't remember knowing anything about the WNBA other than like the 5 good players, and that was kind of the end of it. But people talk about it more, so there's something to be said about that.
There it is. Alex, the Buccos.
Nope.
I don't know if we can call them the Battling Buccos anymore.
Next topic.
They got us the football season. They did the job.
You're right, Nate. They did get us to football season. They just got swept by the Dodgers today. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Tigers. It's all bad. And Paul Skeens, Jared Jones, none of these guys can make it past like the 5th inning. They just keep getting pulled for pitch counts. I don't even know at this point. No idea. Alex, thoughts on the Pirates?
Nope.
Nate?
It was fun while it lasted. It was better than it was last year. Still below 500, but better than last year.
Maybe 10 years from now, we'll say like we're 15 games above 500, and we're truly competing for a playoff spot in September. All right. Any other non-football storylines, guys, before we get into some football storylines before we dive into the Big Ten?
Let's dive right in.
I think we get to football.
Football storylines. The Pro Football Hall of Fame class of Larry Fitzgerald, Drew Brees, Luke Kuechly, Roger Craig, and Adam Vinatieri were inducted in Canton, Ohio. No Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I thought that was some bullshit.
Yeah.
Adam Vinatieri is a comedian up on the stage.
Indeed.
He definitely, I mean, like, when I look at the list there, I mean, as far as, I don't know enough about Roger Craig. He wasn't really in my, like, realm, my sphere of football. But, like, Larry Fitzgerald, Drew Brees, Luke Kuechly, and Adam Vinatieri all deserve it, but then you look at someone like Bill Belichick. Does he knock it in because of how bad he's doing at UNC?
I can't believe that would be part of it. I think this is just
that's not even remote. It's about all the excess shit that happened when he was in New England with Deflategate and Spygate and blah blah blah.
Yeah. But then we're going to say, like, all those other, are we going to let all the Patriots players from that era get in first ballot?
TBD. Players versus coaches in this case. Players versus coaches.
All right.
Jim, thoughts?
I guess I see your argument in some sense. Players versus coaches, but this is Bill Belichick.
Indeed it is. In the offseason, we also had the Brendan Sorsby gambling and eligibility saga. Whole lot of bets. Transferring to Texas Tech. Not eligible to play.
Yeah. And people were pretty vocal about not wanting him to play. Like, the general public was not. I don't think I read anyone who was like, let him play. Most people are like,
yeah, I think the schools and conferences and lawsuit threats and
yeah, basically, if you were outside the town of Lubbock, you didn't want him playing.
Even in the town of Lubbock, I don't know. Like, I didn't see much positive coming out.
But again, like, I don't know how long we've been doing this. You should just put me at Muff in charge of college football, because, like, if you hadn't taken the nuts away from the NCAA and they had been logical in the beginning, we could have avoided this mess. Like, police it correctly and consistently, and we wouldn't have all these issues.
Well, Jim, glad you say that because I'm not sure if it would have mattered who was in charge, the way that things have played out, which gets us to our age-based eligibility model, what formerly was considered 5 for 5, fifth-year eligibility for student athletes. Under the new rule from ESPN's Andrea Adelson, athletes in all sports will be given 5 years of eligibility over 5 seasons once their college eligibility clock begins. The clock starts upon initial full-time enrollment in college or at the beginning of the academic year following their 19th birthday, whichever occurs first. So we're not going to have 26-year-olds out there, apparently, under this model. You're going to be at the most 24. Right, the math checks out there.
Does that mean your golf career is done?
That means that correct. I would not be eligible.
No longer have the hopes that maybe Muff rejoins the NCAA golf picture.
Yeah. Also, J.R. Smith would not have been eligible for the golf scene under this new model either. Also, per NCAA.com, once the 5-year period starts, it runs continuously. Does not pause because a student athlete does not compete, transfers, sits out, changes teams, or takes time away from participation. Meaning student athletes, coaches, and athletic departments no longer have to track red shirts.
That's one pro of it. I see that. Well, the athletic department doesn't have to track red shirts, but you blow out a knee in the wrong time of year, you could potentially lose 2 years.
That's correct. But
Yeah,
we also won't have 7th and 8th year of eligibilities like that one guy at Oregon that was in his 8th year. Is that what we highlighted once? His 8th and 9th year?
Utah. Wasn't it the quarterback?
No, there was a wide
No,
receiver.
I know.
I think he played it. He played at Ohio State too, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
So, those are the parameters as we know them per some reliable sources there. An ESPN source and NCAA.com specifically laid out. Now we have this 1 year hullabaloo about all of these guys who, in this case, it's football is where we're seeing this. I haven't seen it anywhere else. Where, hey, this would have been my 5th year. I would be eligible. What if I want to come back and play? Is this possible? Now we have where the court system comes back into play, Jim, which means the NCAA, even though they passed this rule, even though it's in play, we have the courts ruling in favor of, hey, yeah, they can come back and play. They're still eligible. It's okay. Where we have today Daquan Wright, who was released from the Browns. Is that correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Released from the Browns, and is as long as he clears waivers, he already has an agreement in place to go to LSU, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So Daquan Wright was in an NFL training camp. People were saying this is pretty much like, hey, he had his NFL internship. Now he's going to go back to college, make some money, and then still be eligible for the draft next year. Now, he may be the outlier of outliers in this situation, but there are other players that are seeking this type of situation in their football lives.
I see no problem with this. And this just opens the door for kickers.
To go back.
To go back.
Opens the door for anybody, apparently, as long as they clear the waivers.
Yeah.
And
frankly, we can't bitch about it because it's consistent. This is the most consistent thing what they've done.
Why?
But this is all supposed to be a 1 year a 1 year issue, not issue, but a 1 year situation. After this year, this will no longer be an option. So everybody says, and this is where I get into the what fresh hell is going to come out of the courts next summer. That we're going to be having the same conversation again, and how many years will we continue to have this conversation because the court system
why would another
continues to
thing
get
come
involved.
out?
Jim, we probably could never have projected all of the court rulings that have come out over the past 2 to 3 years regarding transfers, eligibility, etc.
But I think that's because you're mixing streams here, and I understand what you're saying, and I don't know that I disagree completely. But if we I'm gonna picture myself as the NCAA for a second. Hey, 5 years, starting here, ending here. I don't care. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't want to hear about red shirts. I don't want to see a 30-year-old on the field. 5 years. Boom, boom. And then somebody goes and they challenge it, and there's this whole kerfuffle, and the court says, NCAA said 5 years. You're sticking to 5 years. To me, that's amazing. Like, yes.
Do you think that the court is going to be that firm on it?
They did.
The NCAA has said a lot of things, Jim, and the courts have said sorry.
Because I think, and that's where I think we get a debate is because I think the NCAA was like, we made a rule, we bent the rule once, but we didn't bend it here, but we bent it there, and the court was like, you guys are idiots.
So
and that's where those rulings bit them.
I just took a class on organizational leadership, and I had to pick an organization to follow for the entire 8-week course and look at all these.
If you follow the NCAA, like you are glutton for punishment.
I did. So I did the NCAA, and I did my I did my big executive leadership brief at the end, and you basically have to be after I've analyzed all these pieces, what is wrong? I'm not allowed to write this many pages. But no, the big one that I settled on though was talking a lot about the NCAA and their communications with the federal government and how they don't there's no one group where you're okay, you are in charge of communications with the federal government. And my thing was basically creating a group of people that everything that gets communicated has to go through them. And there is one stream instead of
yeah.
And that's what I did.
I think that's a legal strategy though. I think that's hey, you go talk to him. All right, now you go talk to him.
I know it's not, and it's not working.
No.
That was what I was pointing out in my. This is not working. I also
I don't know.
Me going like this at the end.
I think with this one, it makes sense. To me, this adds up. And I if there's any issues with it, you're just stupid. You didn't think this through. I want to go back. Well, you're 30. Shut up.
I would tell you the situation in college football that I thought of immediately was all of those Australian League football and other rugby players that have made their way into college football in their mid-20s, full-grown men who have competed at some of the highest levels of some of the roughest sports possible. Hey, I'm gonna go play football now, kick some footballs. That's not possible now. You can't be that old and make your way in.
I think of the other way. I think hey, I'm gonna go make money in Europe playing basketball. All right, go take your year. Hey, I don't like that anymore. All right, come back. Mm-hmm. Or hey, it's an even year for a wrestler, and I'm gonna go to the Olympics. I'm gonna take this break, and I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna come back. Oh, okay, cool. To me, it's the littler sports where I see some benefit. I still think the red shirt should be. No, I can't. I don't say. Nope. Mm-mm.
You did. I mean, realistically, when it was made,
you just tried to be the NCAA as it has been, Jim. Right there. You just tried to be him.
Nope. Nope.
Nate, any thoughts on any of this?
Honestly, I would not want to be the one that's in charge of any of this. Like you said, who knows what's going to happen next year?
Yeah.
When someone files a suit that goes, "Oh, I need another 5th year, or I need my 6th year. This isn't fair. I have a special circumstance." Well, I got a special circumstance too.
There is none. I think we can take that shit away.
If everybody has a special circumstance, nobody has a special circumstance.
And especially to go back to the gambling thing, I think I'm going to land, write this down. I'm going to land on Alex's porch and say, if you get caught gambling, I don't care if it's on Russian tennis or table tennis. I don't care. If you get caught, you're done. But let's have a consistent penalty. You know what I mean? If it's table tennis and it's over $500, you lose a year. If it's I put $20 on which one of my nephews will hit the piñata, you lose a practice. Let's put the degree system in here. But gambling, like, let's just sort the whole damn thing out and call it good.
Yep, Jim, I think you need to give us a list of examples of those for next week.
I will put a whole system together for next week.
You would like a level system, Jim? Is that what you're looking for?
Nope. I would like a dollar amount.
Levels?
If you want to call my dollar amount levels, then yes.
Okay. So you're in favor of
Yeah.
level systems now?
I'm in favor of dollar amounts.
Okay.
That's Jim Banker coming in.
Ooh. There we go.
I think so.
All right, let's get out of that. Let's get into some college football breakdowns here. We're going to go to the Big Ten first. This is Big Ten breakdown. Next week we will do the
Alex, that's
NFL.
off. It goes off camera.
Once we get to the Big Ten,
I know
Alex
it
is
wasn't
gone.
intentional, but that was awesome. Well
Alex
played on
left.
his part.
All right, Alex. Okay, about to come back there. All right, Big Ten breakdown. I put together some basic talking points for all Big Ten teams, and then we can, expand upon any of them. Some of them we might have nothing more than what I say initially. Some we may have some extensive discussion. I have saved Penn State and Ohio State for last. Aside from that, the first team will be the team that placed last in the Big Ten last year. We're doing the same thing for the Big 12, where WVU will be last. So, we start off the Big Ten breakdown with Purdue. Barry Odom says Purdue is pursuing quote-unquote consistent winning football. We're going to see if quarterback Ryan Brown is ready to take a big step forward to help the cause this year.
Who isn't pursuing consistent winning football? Like, if you have to say that, I believe you may already be dead in the water.
Gonna have to agree. Moving on to Michigan State. After his controversial departure from Northwestern, Pat Fitzgerald's back in the conference, this time with Michigan State. Are the Spartans going to see a shot in the arm this year? Or are we going to need to see 2 to 3 years for any real progress to happen in East Lansing?
I think both are true. I think Fitzgerald is a shot in the arm and wherever he's at. I think real progress, I see a year. Like, he's going to have to get through this year. And then by year 2, they're back to being a threat.
I wouldn't go so much as saying a threat in year 2, but I think you'll start to see him build the program up in year 2, year 3. Maybe year 3, they're starting to compete a little bit, maybe in the top 4 of the conference, top 5 of the conference.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we move on to Maryland. Mike Locksley kept his job amid all the speculation he would be out. He believes the difficult times have passed at Maryland. The Terps returned 71% of their production, giving them more continuity than they've had in recent years. Is this the year where Maryland finds themselves just above the middle of the road in the Big Ten?
I go back to, like, if you believe difficult times have passed and you're still thinking about it, you're dead in the water. Like, and that's sad. I like Mike Locksley. I think he's on to things there. I think he has the ability to rally troops around him. But there's not a Tua left, right? Like, you can't pull somebody out of the Hawaiian Islands to save his ass.
Nate, is there another Tagovailoa we don't know about?
That, or there's another one that has a super long last name like Vita Vea.
It's not Vita Vea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex, we're talking about the Big Ten. You left. You hate the Big Ten?
That was awesome, Alex. I know you didn't intentionally do that. But Big
Well,
Ten, click.
I kind of did. I had to pee so bad, and I was like, as soon as they said Big Ten, I was like, nah.
Did Alex just reference that he's pissing on the Big Ten?
I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good one, Nate.
All right.
Yikes.
All right.
All right. To Wisconsin. We're going to jump around. And is this going to be a make or break year for Luke Fickell? Is this the one that either keeps him going or gets him out?
I think it's the one that gets him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, his career did not pan out how it looked like it was going to at one point.
It was the wrong place.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you.
Place. This should have been this unless he was going to revamp and rebrand and bring in like he should have been. And Luke's just not that guy. Great dude, not the guy for Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, no, I was rooting for him to do well. It just has not panned out.
They're banking on transfer quarterback Colton Joseph, bringing the dual threat option, something that has not really been there in Fickell's tenure at Wisconsin. We will wait and see, but I'm with you guys. I think this is going to be he's gone before we reach the new year situation.
Yep.
On to Rutgers. One of Jim's guys, Greg Schiano, didn't mince words at Big Ten Media Day when he said Rutgers has to get better defensively.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
At this point, if I'm a Rutgers fan, I don't want you lying about it.
Like, he needs to be. I felt like he didn't bring the energy this time when he came back. Like, he needs to be like the coach from Detroit. Like,
whoa. MCDC is laid off the coffee now.
Well, he needs to pass it over to Greg.
Give it to somebody who needs it.
Like, he needs to go back to batshit crazy. Like when he was running across the field to fight Ryan Day kind of shit. We need that back.
And to get better defensively. That's what we need. All right, UCLA, the Bob Chesney era begins, and Nico, I'm gonna leave the school after this year. Gets a fresh start. Another year of heavy roster turnover makes a big question mark for the season ahead for the Bruins.
How old is he? I feel like he's been around too long.
He's
actually not.
It just feels like because he's jumped around so much, it feels like he has been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's. I think, as Jim said, I think he's really like a true junior at this point.
And this is why
a lot of fanfare. Northwestern has a new stadium, but they're not going to play there until home game number 3, when it's all the way done.
Well, I'm excited for Northwestern.
Is this because Chip Kelly's there, Jim? Is that part of it?
That's part of it. My Ace kid's there.
That's part of it. I'm excited because I think they're viable. I think they're
getting off the mat.
Threat. I could be wrong. They have UCLA's offensive coordinator there as coach, right?
Neuheisel?
I think he's there.
Neuheisel?
Yeah.
Take a look, buddy.
I'll look it up.
I'm unsure. As we alluded to and stated, Chip Kelly going there to bring some life to the offense. Maybe in a new stadium, they won't get bogged down in the tall grass. The defense is similar to last year, and the offensive is serviceable. This could be another winning year for the Wildcats. Jim?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm following up on the coaching staff. So David Braun is the head coach. Chip Kelly's offensive coordinator, and Neuheisel is the quarterback coach.
Okay. There we go. Nebraska. Interesting, as you said?
Yes.
All right. In Nebraska, the Cornhuskers lose their Patty Mahomes lookalike in Dylan Raiola, but they bring in UNLV transfer Anthony Calandria. Year number 3 wasn't it for Matt Rule, as many hoped and expected. Is year 4 going to be Matt Rule's year?
No.
Got it. Nate.
Nate does not believe in you, Matt Rule.
No, it's just Nebraska. I mean, you're not going to be able to out-recruit all these other Big Ten schools.
Yeah, this is one of those where they need donors. They need NIL money. They need to back the Brinks truck up. Because
plow some cornfields, build some new facilities, get some cool stuff out there.
Why would I go there?
For the corn.
You still talking about corn, Alex?
Mm-hmm.
Is Holgerson still out there too?
That would be reason to stay away.
All right.
There it is. Let's go over under 7 wins this year for Nebraska.
Under.
I'll say under as well, 5 or 6.
I'm gonna go with over. I believe in Calandria here. I think he's going to be a guy,
Just a devil's advocate.
not like a Heisman guy, but just enough of a guy.
All right.
All right, Washington. The fans, the people of Washington, believe that DeMond Williams Jr. is ready for a breakout season, and that could be in part due to the fact that they have almost 60 players returning, consistency in the coaching staff as well. They have a favorable schedule early, so if they can get hot and get it rolling, they may be upset-minded against Indiana and Oregon in their final weeks. How are we feeling about Washington this year?
I feel like Washington's always that team that's just right on the cusp since they had Penix. So I feel like they could be one of those teams that kind of sneak up on people. I mean, 60 guys coming back. They always play Oregon tough. Everybody's got to travel out west, but then in opposite, they got to travel east. So I always wonder how big of a factor that's going to be on teams too.
That stadium fucks with people too.
Yeah, it's loud. It's something about Washington. I don't know. Between there and Seattle's field.
It's messy. I can see him catching teams.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they have those first 8, 9, 10 games. Not, I'm gonna say they should be in them. I'm not gonna say that they're going to like run away with a lot of them, but they should be able to be in those games in the fourth quarter. It's just going to be, do they tip over and win more than they lose? Minnesota, it's year 10 for rowing that boat. But it seems like that boat's been recently going in a circle under PJ Fleck. They have Anthony Smith returning as the Big Ten sack leader, but can the offense produce this year? Gonna row, boys? Are we gonna like sort of row? What are we gonna do?
Instead of rowing in a circle, we're going to row in an oval.
Getting a little
Slight
farther out,
improvement.
not there yet.
I mean, to me, they're like Nebraska. Like, okay, but they're not really going to get kids to come there.
I don't know. I think Minnesota's a little better than Nebraska. I think they catch some teams where they shouldn't.
Yeah, I feel like if I had to choose between the two, I would pick Minnesota over Nebraska. I think I'd rather play for Fleck. He seems like a really good, cool players coach, but again, I just don't know if you're going to be able to out recruit or outplay some of these other teams in your conference.
You catch them in a night game, you better batten down the hatches. It's going to be a slugfest.
Indeed. Moving on to Illinois. Bielema entering his 6th season. Questions not whether they can be competitive and potentially catch teams and be in the hunt in the Big Ten. It's whether the Illini can consistently be relevant and those top 4 spots. For Michigan State and East Carolina, quarterback Kattenhauser is intriguing for a team that's looking to put up enough points every week to be in it in the fourth quarter. Jim, do we still hold tight that it matters what time these games are?
Absolutely. Old boy's got to eat.
So take the listeners through what the ideal time for Brett Bielema and the Illini are to be at their best.
After he's had a meal. He's a slow starting guy. You know, if he's been fed, he's good. So like the night games for him.
They're not a noon team.
Dinner. What's that?
So he's not a noon team.
Not a fan.
Is he a 3:30 guy?
He's good there. He's had his snacky poos and his lunch. Night games, he's good. Lunch, the noon game, he's got to go back to the locker room at halftime, get him a hoagie, and then he's cooking with fire.
All right, there it is. The key to Illinois being competitive this year. Take a look at their schedule. They've got 3:30 on games. More so than not, then they'll have a winning record. A lot of noon games might be a problem.
Gonna be a struggle.
The Hawkeyes of Iowa, the question still remains. Will the offense produce on the field this year?
I don't think so. Not when the defense loses 7 of 8 defensive line. Like, now the defense can't even save you.
Well, they've been able to continue. The defense usually is able to replenish. Maybe the offense is going to be better this year. The middle of their schedule is going to be where we figure a lot of things out for them. They have games at Michigan and Washington. They host Ohio State in a 3-game stretch.
The hosting Ohio State.
Do we have a
At
kickoff
Washington?
for that one?
It's Iowa, not Illinois. Nate.
Yeah, Iowa.
Iowa, not Illinois.
I don't know. If it's a night game at Iowa, that's different than a day game at Iowa.
Oh, he's not
You're
wrong.
right. You're right.
It probably will be.
Yeah, there's a better chance than not that's going to be a primetime game. I
God,
agree.
that'll suck.
Not big noon.
Nah, maybe.
It could be the
Noon
it could be the big noon. Could be big noon, just not kicked off at noon.
Ruins football.
Indeed
I
it
love how
does.
Alex hasn't said a word.
I'm saying
is gearing up for the Big 12.
Productive to say.
Gearing up for the Big 12. USC, Lincoln Riley, another Big Ten coach that some believe is on the hot seat in his 5th year. They brought in a top recruiting class and hope that Jaden Maeva is the QB to guide USC to a good year. Lincoln Riley, in or out at the end of this year? Alex.
In.
Jim.
He's in.
Nate.
And if he can win 9 or 10 games.
Okay.
I don't call himself hot seat as I don't know. I guess maybe like I'm just again not paying as much attention to USC as other teams, but I just don't feel like he's hot seat yet necessarily. I think this year he's safe, but I think if it doesn't go as Nate is saying around that 9-win mark, I think then he's hot seat for next year.
Here comes Jim.
Oh.
What?
So glad the viewers got to see that.
I like that it looked like he walked through the wall
Did
because of his
did look
background.
Jim, are you at Hogwarts?
I am.
like- Which platform?
Yep.
9 and 3
11 3/4.
Nine,
So-
and
See, glad you knew.
I
9 and 3
contend.
quarters. He was wrong.
Okay.
I contend that USC is like NASCAR, like the best NASCAR team. Who do you replace him with? You don't replace Dale Jr. with like Bob Smith. So if you fire Lincoln Riley, who you put in there?
Very good question, Jim.
Because that's one of those schools that has all those Hollywood donors. You're not going to walk in like Ohio State put in Jim Tressel from Youngstown. They were like, well, he's an Ohio guy. Cool. Like, you can get away with that. Not at USC. Will Ferrell's like, who the fuck is this guy?
You know what? Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin finds his way.
You know, I just thought of this. I could see him, depending on how this team goes, because I think they're also on the hot seat, is Florida State. I think if USC and Florida State both have bad years and their coaches both get fired, I can see Lincoln Riley going coast to coast and going to Florida State.
No, he doesn't fit down there in a swamp. Too hot. Too hot.
Too hot.
Yeah, no.
Did Alex? You thought you had something to say?
I thought I had something to say, and then I thought about it, and it was going to be dumb, so I took it back.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I'm glad you had some thoughts there.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to Michigan.
Oh, boy.
Wolverines hoping to find lightning in a bottle like Indiana with Kyle Whittingham. All eyes obviously going to be on Bryce Underwood this year. If he can take a step forward from last year, find some level of success, even if there are improvements, tough schedule. Oklahoma, Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State, Iowa, Penn State as well.
No. Just
I didn't
no.
ask a question, so I know what you're responding to.
Just no. No. First off, when you're dancing at practice, problem.
You think they're the only team dancing at practice, Jim?
If you get caught dancing on practice, that's a problem. If you say, I think of the game as just an every other game. Like, what?
I mean, isn't it?
No.
I mean, it doesn't have the same luster as it used to. You can lose that game and still win a national championship, Jim.
You still, if you're in the rivalry, you don't say it. I don't care. You don't say it. Just the whole demeanor this team's carrying this year, fuck right off.
because they're not putting Ohio State on a pedestal, then
They're not
that's an
putting
issue
anything
now.
on a pedestal. They're not. They got no killer instinct. They got no dog in them.
Have you
Jim's
been
gonna-
watching their practices?
I'm watching their social.
You're watching
media
their TikToks. Oh, they entered Jim's TikTok feed. Oh my God, watch out!
and the Instagrams and the Facebook. Yeah.
Are you worried? Is that why you're watching them so much?
No, I'm
Yeah.
laughing at him, Nate. I'm laughing at him.
I don't know. It seems
No,
like you got a
Joe,
little.
You know, the
That's-
opposite. The opposite of love is indifference, not hate, Jim.
Yeah,
You can think what you want to think.
learned that from Aaron Rodgers.
That sounds like people who've not won national championships to me.
How many guys in Ohio State's locker room have won a national championship right now?
A bunch.
A bunch?
Only 2
I don't.
years
I don't.
ago.
I honestly don't know where we are at this point.
It was only 2 years ago.
Are they all still there? That's the thing. The transfer portal
Well,
world, Jim. I have no
who's
idea.
there?
It's a legitimate
Jeremiah
question.
Jeremiah
Yeah.
Smith's there, and that's what matters. But we're not on Ohio State. We're on these.
Hey, he's always
people.
open.
Nate knows.
Anyway.
Nate knows.
Michigan, not dogs.
No, that schedule's going to be rough.
Yeah, they're going to get destroyed.
Yeah, they can get destroyed if they win a game in November. I think all is forgiven in Michigan land, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see it happening.
All right. I think there's going to be something to watch this year. Is how those first 5 games go for them. Oregon, the Ducks, enters the number 2 ranked team in the nation, highest preseason ranking in program history. Now they have to back it up. We obviously expect Dante Moore to have another strong season, Heisman contender from the start. Oregon, eh?
Quack.
Hot take. Lanning. Is he a big game bust? Can he get it done?
It's a question. It needs to be proven.
I worry about him. I don't think he's got what it takes necessarily. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know if he's got it to get it over the edge.
It's the players. I think he's hoping that the players are going to help him get him over the edge at this point.
Yeah. I think
We'll
NIL
see.
is one of those things that hurts his mystique.
Hurts his
rah-rah-
mystique.
Yeah, his rah-rah only goes so far when we're paying kids millions of dollars.
I think he's got some, whether it was this class or the expected next year's class, I think he's made some waves.
Hey, nobody said he couldn't recruit. But hey, you got to go run up against the playoffs and you got to go back to back and you got to play some big games. Hey, let's go. We're going to knock down walls. Hey man, I'm gonna sit back here and catch the bag. Like I'm not giving 100% every time. You know?
Okay. Yeah, it's. I mean, we're going to see. Obviously, there's not much room for them to go up, so they got to rein it in from the beginning and just stay in that picture to make it to the playoff and hopefully make a run.
And I think Ryan Day faced that. I think he's in that same vein where Ryan Day was before the national championship. Like you're only getting them so far, bud. Got to do something. Then they found Jesus.
And they found
Different story. Go ahead.
All right, Indiana. No Fernando Mendoza, along with a large number of seasoned veterans gone from last year's team, but Google them. They still have Kurt Cignetti. But it is a different season, a different preparation, and every week is a Super Bowl for every team when you have that target on your back. And he still says he wants all the smoke. How is Indiana going to fare this year when every team's out to get him?
I'm worried about him this year, if I'm being honest.
You are or aren't?
And this is just a gut feeling, and that's what's weird about it is like I've been starting to listen to some more college football podcasts and stuff as we get closer, and people they aren't really talking about him too much, but I also worry that like do they get complacent because they had the hype and they were this big team, and do they get knocked around a little bit without Fernando Mendoza leading them? I don't know. I just would be on edge a little bit if I was them.
Jim?
I still think they're a threat. I still think they're really good. You got a core there. I think the chip on their shoulder is gone, and that's where the concern is. Like, everybody doubts us. Everybody thinks Ohio State's going to win this Big Ten and win the national championship. We're out to prove them wrong. That was their motivation last year. Well, you proved them wrong. Now what's your motivation? What are you driving on now?
The fact that they weren't ranked number 1 or even number 2 headed into the start of the season.
That's
There's
great
the chip.
for them. That's absolutely, but that's preseason. You can wash that away. That's just poll writers writing. That shit don't matter. We'll see.
We will see. Nate?
I mean, it's going to be hard to live up to the expectations from last year because, like you said, they're going to get everybody's best. They're not going to creep up on anybody anymore. It's just next man up there is it going to be the real deal? I mean, when Mendoza came in, there wasn't all this hype like, hey, look at this transfer quarterback we got. I feel like it's a little bit different now with this guy from TCU. I figure like it's going to be more like, okay, we're going to be better on offense than we were even a year ago. But like you said, you've lost some of these big name guys that all went and drafted in the first 2 rounds. So can they replace all that production?
Tis the question. All right, moving on to our final teams where the fandom lies in this podcast. We start out with Penn State, where whiteouts mean something different now.
I wonder.
Yikes and yikes. You just lean into the nuclear warhead, Jim. There's no reason to let everyone else bring it at you. Here we are. The Matt Campbell era begins, but is it going to translate into a competitive and solid season from week 1 to the end of the season? The consensus across pretty much everything I've watched, listened to regarding college football is that the Lions do have a schedule. Is going to let them make a run for the Big Ten and a college football playoff spot, with Rocco Becht simply just changing jerseys at this point. Going to Happy Valley. There's reason for optimism, but will they be able to come through in fourth quarters and in any big games this year? I am cautiously optimistic, and I realize that there are going to be more wins than probably people would have expected with the change when all of this was going on last year with James Franklin. But I don't want to get too excited, because that just could be some fool's gold that rues the day at the end of the season.
Isn't this where you want to be, though? Like, if there was ever a team in the Big Ten that's probably in the perfect position, it's Penn State. Very low bar, very little expectation. A decent amount of talent. If I were you, I'd be pretty like, all right, cool. This is going to be all right.
Cautiously optimistic. Mm-hmm. If things start going well, I'll be excited. I'll be having a good time. But I will just, week to week, I'm just not going to be like, oh, yeah, this is the one. We're going to win by 3 touchdowns. We're going to knock the doors off. It's like, let's just keep winning, build some momentum, see what happens at the end.
Yeah. So where would you define a successful first year here then, given new coach, weaker schedule, all that noise as far as a record?
9+. Anything more than 9 gets them into the playoff likely, potentially gets into the Big Ten championship. Perfect.
I don't think you're wrong there.
So that's where I'm at. Feeling good.
I understand cautious optimism. I'll let you have it.
You walk in with Marshall, Temple, Buffalo, Wisconsin, Northwestern in October, USC. Those are 2 like ugh. Michigan. I honestly think if you are on your game, like I think you might catch them. Purdue, Washington's Minnesota, sure. Rutgers. 3 losses, maybe.
I think it's really going to come down to when you think of those bigger name teams that we mentioned, like the Michigans, the USCs, the Washingtons. If those teams don't meet their expectations, it's like, what's going to be your signature win, because you don't play Indiana, Ohio State, or Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to anymore. If you can be consistent and you
Well,
beat,
what if all your other teams are just mid? It's like,
yeah,
go 9, 10 wins, but it's like, who did you beat? All Notre Dame last year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
All right. Yep. Gosh, optimism. All right. Moving to ahead. Ohio State. The dreaded number 1 preseason ranking isn't what Ryan Day was looking for, I'm assuming. But heavily are their arms with all the money and the big bags in the portal. Julian Sayin ready to go with the wide receivers that can break the game open at any point, any time of the game, at all downs. Jim, how are you feeling about this upcoming year for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and how much stock are you going to put into that Texas game?
First off, I hate the number 1 ranking. Despise it. I feel like if I had a bunch of Ferraris and I question the garage, I'm putting them in. The lines on both sides of the ball are questionable. They have returners, but the line play has not been solid. So I question that. The Texas game, I'm not looking forward to it. It's already a night game. They already made that thing a night game. So we got 2. This is supposed to be the third one. So I can't see us winning 3 times. If I'm being a realistic individual, I hope, I pray, but I just can't see it happening. Rest of the games, I think we went out all the way till Oregon, and then I think Oregon's another punch in the face that we got to face. And then in Columbus, we're worried about USC. So those are 3 games that people are sweating.
Where's the USC game at?
At USC on Halloween, so it's a night game.
Sounds spooky.
I was just gonna say.
Night game where?
He said at USC.
At USC.
But it is a USC night game because that's not prime time. East Coast.
That's true.
You could have a 3:30, 4:30 kick there.
Yep. I think it's a crazy run that Ohio State also has to face. They have that end of the season, Indiana, USC, Ohio, or Oregon, that are all away. That they don't know if they're gonna Columbus is sweating the schedule pretty hard.
Every year you sweat that schedule.
This one's tough. This one's real tough. This one. Ugh.
But you wouldn't have it any other way.
What's that?
You wouldn't have it any other way.
I'm just glad it's back, baby.
College football is back.
Less than a week.
And that, go ahead.
Said less than a week.
Less than a week.
Crazy.
Week 0 is upon us. Right, Alex? You ready? You pumped?
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Alex, Statman extraordinaire now.
Are you guys got tickets to WVU, or are you just staying home this year?
We have our tickets.
Okay.
Got our tickets. We'll take in our first college football game this Thursday in the press box.
I'll be going to 4 games this year at Ohio State, trying to get that elusive 5th the game ticket. We're hopeful.
We're hoping for you, buddy. We're hoping for you. All right. That's it with the Big Ten. I'm going to go through the Big 12 here. I have a feeling that we may not have a lot of things to say about a lot of these teams until we get to WVU. And I will reserve the right to mute Jim for you, Alex, if
Thank
needed.
you.
He booed me.
Then I giggled and stopped, and then I let it go.
I did nothing to him.
He just existed as a
Yeah.
Penn State fan.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what you did. You no other grievances today. That's it.
That's it. It existed. All right, in the Big 12, again, we're going to go from last year's last place team all the way up to first with WVU last in the discussion here. So we start out with Oklahoma State. The Mike Gundy hangover begins with Eric Morris taking the helm. Drew Mestemaker becomes the face of the rebuild, coming from North Texas after throwing for about 4,300 yards and 34 touchdowns last year. We at least have that storyline of Mestemaker, who was one of the highly coveted quarterbacks in the portal from some of those lower divisions or lower conferences.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they can't really get much worse, but there is a lot of talk in Big 12 circles that they could take a pretty significant step forward this year. I think Mestemaker becoming a big part of that and what happens around him.
So with numbers like that, he'll fit right in the Big 12.
Exactly. Well, that's it. Just can they build the team around him and get back on track? And honestly, Oklahoma State of all places, I feel like they're usually kind of aired out. But
all right, Alex, Colorado.
Ugh.
Dion had the Buffs poised to build on a great year one, only to falter to a 3-9 2025 campaign. Is Dion going to still be there after this year, or is there going to be a little bit of a bounce back?
I hope it's his last year. I'm over it. I'm sick of pouring hate into a situation. I just need him to go.
There we go. Jim, Nate, any thoughts? Dion?
I just don't know what's going to keep him there. Like, what's his motivation? I mean, it's not like you're in a situation where you're a threat to win the conference. Your kids are gone. Like, and we all know his health issues that he has. So what's going to keep him there?
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure that they got this new linebacker in Colorado. Have you seen this? The Gideon Lampron guy. And his middle name is literally ESPN.
Human highlight reel.
It's literally it.
You know, for all the hatred you have for Dion, you sure know a lot about the comings and goings of Colorado.
Same with you in Michigan.
Yeah.
And you all turn the tables on me, but it's not okay for Alex.
I'm just focusing on their transfer from Bowling Green, whose middle name is literally ESPN because his dad's, while his mom was recovering from birthing the baby, he snuck and wrote it on the birth certificate. So you know what? I'm finding one positive to talk about Colorado, and that kid's it.
There it is. All right, moving on to UCF. Scott Frost's second year two is upon us. He kept 10 of the 12 coaches and hopeful for a better year with James Madison transfer quarterback Alonzo Barnett III. Can't get much worse. 7-20 in the Big 12 over the past 3 seasons. I'll be hanging a banner at UCF this year, but let's hope that maybe they have a little bit more success than the past seasons.
Fair enough.
In Kansas, no more Jalen Daniels means QB competition is a brewing. 2 straight 5-7 seasons after reaching the top 25 in 2023. Lance Leopold, is he on the hot seat? Or is what he's done in Kansas give him another year reprieve?
I was just going to say that.
They're a basketball school.
That's fine, but they have to have a somewhat competitive football program, and I think that they've gotten there, and I don't think it's gone downhill. The hype happened so quick, and then they didn't continue to raise the hype, but it's not like they totally tanked and plummeted compared to where they were. So I mean, I think putting it in perspective we're talking about a team that used to win maybe 1 game a year. So I don't think he's out yet. I think he's got a little time.
Agreed.
I'm gonna agree with that as well. Dave Aranda and Baylor firmly on the hot seat after a 5-7 2025 season. Another losing season could end his 7-year tenure. They're hoping that Florida transfer quarterback DJ Lagway can right the ship and get Baylor moving in the correct direction.
Yeah, that he is on the hot seat.
I don't think DJ Lagway is the guy. If you're gonna ask me, I don't think that's gonna get him there. I see him gone at the end of this year.
I think people will think DJ Lagway is a little better than he is.
Yeah, this is the make it or break it for Aranda. So we'll see. I think the first month will tell the tale of the season.
In Cincinnati, Georgia Southern transfer J.C. French IV replaces Brendan Sorsby. Obviously, that whole situation lost in a lot last year. Cincinnati had a 7-game win streak, was deep into the competition for the Big 12. Ultimately finishes the season 7-6. Most point the finger at the defense. One that hopes to improve. Changing to a new system. Changing to the 3-4 this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Cincinnati football.
Yeah.
Texas Christian University. We have experience on the offensive line in the running back room, but a new quarterback for Sonny Dykes has fans unsure what they should be expecting. Is this going to be a Big 12 championship run or a little bit of a ho-hum season? It has the Horned Frog faithful wondering what's next.
I mean, their quarterback transfer in Indiana, I think, is a big blow for them.
Yeah, if I'm looking at like who's going to be the top part of the Big 12, I don't think the TCU will be in it. They'll probably be in that middle chunk.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think TCU is going to be in that middle group. Kansas State. Colin Klein is back in Manhattan, but as a head coach now. Avery Johnson returns as the quarterback and could be a similar dual threat option that Klein was back in his day. Kansas State does avoid BYU, Utah, and Texas Tech. Gets Houston and Arizona at home. It's a favorable year one schedule for Colin Klein. I would say if you're looking for a parallel situation in the Big 12 to Penn State, Kansas State is probably it.
Yeah, I can see this being the dark horse team in the conference.
Especially because of their favorable schedule, the way it sets up. So if you think about it, BYU, Utah, and Texas Tech are probably going to be the top. If you're looking at who are the top three predicted at this point, you're avoiding them. Like, I'm just not like knocking. I'm just saying like you're poised for a good record at the end of the season.
Yep, I'm with you. Alex. I'm with you. Moving on to Iowa State. Obviously, we know what's going on with this program. Matt Campbell goes to Penn State along with his coaching staff. 47 new transfers coming to Iowa State this year. Jimmy Rogers, the new head coach, coming over from Washington State. I don't think there's a lot of expectations for this team this year. I think anything that they do and any competition they can provide week to week will be welcome. I just don't expect much out of this team this year.
I think about those people that were at the Iowa State game when I think of Iowa State, those fans, and sometimes I wonder what they're doing right now. But yeah, I think.
Go ahead, Alex. Tell the story. You just put a random thing out there that nobody else understood but me.
Yeah, that's true. There was just this couple that they were Iowa State fans. They traveled to Morgantown. At first, they seemed really nice, and then the husband got quite unruly as the game went on. And I actually felt very bad for his wife, who just continued to try to sit there and be a wonderful patron. But also at the same time, I'm like, please control your husband, ma'am. He went up to some other other WVU fans. It just was not well. He was not well received in the crowd. But I wonder sometimes, what's he doing these days?
Gearing up for the season, Alex. Gearing up for the season, just like you.
Listening to our podcast. Hey, guys. I don't have huge expectations for Iowa State this year, if I'm being honest. I think they could be actually kind of down, but we'll see.
All right. Moving on to Arizona State. Sam Leavitt headed to LSU, chase the title with Lane Kiffin, which leaves Arizona State a little bit of an unknown situation. Kenny Dillingham now has to demonstrate that Arizona State has actually become a contender year to year rather than a one-year sensation or a team that catches lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, that's kind of my take on Arizona State as well. It's like they've consistently kind of found that one little spark, but can they just be a good program where the sparks want to come to them instead of just lucking out with something? And I think this year will be a big indicator of how that ends up.
Indeed. Arizona, 32 AP votes and finished 2025 ranked 21st. This isn't necessarily a rebuilding program anymore. They are a competitor week to week and a team to be reckoned with in the Big 12. Noah Fafita returns at quarterback, and they look to a Week 2 matchup against BYU to test the metal early. The bettors out there, got to remember, we were hot on Arizona there for a time, weren't we, Jim?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was like he's muted. I don't know if he's speaking.
He shook his head because everybody could hear him. Next to Houston, ranked 23rd, entering the season after 10-3 last year. Quarterback Connor Wegman returns with Amari Thomas at wide receiver. They added former Tulane star running back Mekhi Hughes. They do not play back-to-back home conference games all season, with 5 Big 12 road games.
It's kind of wild.
That would be like a terrible season.
Ranked. At least they're ranked. Now we got the ranked teams of the Big 12, right? All 4 of them. We can talk about them now.
Yeah. No, it's kind of crazy, but and especially when you think about it, I feel like the Big 12 is one of those conferences that are so spread out. So I really think that could actually play a bigger toll on them than we're giving credit to. Like having to get on and travel.
Are you attributing the fact they're so spread out as to why not many of them are ranked?
I'm talking what?
This is one of the ranked teams he's talking about, Jim.
I'm talking about Houston.
They're so far spread out. Is that why they're not ranked? Is my question.
No, I'm saying
because they're all so spread out.
No, I'm saying that Houston is going to struggle because they aren't playing back-to-back home conference games. Oh. So the travel from Houston to, everywhere else, you have a good chance of crossing time zones, shifts like that. I just think that it could play badly for Houston because of that setup.
So would you say the layout of your conference is not good?
You're just playing at the fact that you want these regional conferences, which I'm not arguing with. It makes sense.
Okay, just asking questions. Getting very defensive.
Alex, all you have to say is the Big Ten, and then any argument Jim just had is gone.
That's true, yeah.
Just asking questions. I'm not even arguing.
Utah, after 21 seasons, Kyle Whittingham, Utah has the new head coach, Morgan Scalley. Devin Dampier at quarterback returns, and if he's successful, Utes may be better than people expect. What do we think, Utah? Over, under, let's go 8 wins.
Push.
Ooh,
yeah.
Get a push.
Yeah, that's over.
I'm going to go under.
Are you sure?
I'm going to go under on this one.
They got to travel.
They all do. So does the Big Ten.
I'm just asking you. Your logic was traveling.
The logic was not every team in the Big 12, Jim. That just was specific.
Who's in the middle?
Because they don't have back-to-back home conference games,
the
Jim.
way that their schedule is set
They're
up.
In the middle.
It would have been inconvenient for any team.
All right, I'm just trying to figure you out, but keep going.
You know what? I wasn't even mad at you, and now you're already making me mad.
You booed me.
Just like old times.
He didn't boo you.
Yeah.
I didn't boo you personally.
I was talking and he booed. It wasn't fair.
You hadn't started talking anything important yet. I'm pretty sure Muff was talking when I booed, to be honest.
Well, they felt directed.
Brigham Young University, 23-4 over the last 2 seasons. Finished last season at 12-2. Enters as number 14 ranked team. Their highest preseason ranking since 1985. Expectations have never been higher.
Muff, it's going to happen. It's going to be great. They're going to do great things. It's going to be huge.
Huge.
Good news is for them, they don't have to face Texas Tech in the regular season. So if they face them, it'll be the championship game where they would hope to avenge 2 losses last year to Texas Tech.
Where's the conference championship at?
Jerry World.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going somewhere with that?
I just want to know where it was at.
Kind of bummed that they don't play during the season, just because I think it'd be fun to have that amp up too. But we'll see.
BYU? They're going to stay in this top 15?
I think they
They should.
Yes, I have some faith in BYU.
You have some faith. That's good.
Ah,
That you got the faith.
ah,
Gotta have faith. Texas Tech, last year's Big 12 champion, enters the number 12 team in the country, their highest preseason AP ranking since 77. The clear preseason favorite in the Big 12. Yikes. Brendan Sorsby was supposed to be there, but he's not allowed to play anymore because of his gambling stuff. At least Will Hammond, returning from an ACL injury, is the likely starter. Texas Tech, do they stay atop the Big 12 at the end of this year? Yes or no, Nate?
They'll be towards the top, but they won't be the top. I think BYU is the favorite to me to win this conference this year.
Jim?
I think they're the outright winners of the conference.
Alex?
I'm sitting with Nate, actually. I think BYU I'm a little more confident in.
I'm going to say Texas Tech figures it out. They got all that money, got that oil money. They're going to figure something out. They got enough sitting there. I think Texas Tech gets that championship against BYU and continues to be that bugaboo for the Cougs.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
We've reached that time, Alex. We talk
Other
about
news in sports.
Okay.
the West Virginia University Mountaineers. It's already been stated, Alex and I will be at most of these home games, but we still don't know who's going to be starting at quarterback. Mike Hawkins Jr., transfer from Oklahoma, or old Scotty Fox Jr., who was there last year. Your tuner, Richrod.
Could be a walk-on, right? Because he's taking open tryouts.
He did. There is tryouts, but I would highly doubt that it would be a walk-on.
I don't know. I'm just
I
reading
think
the
it's going
news.
to be Michael Hawkins Jr. I
agree.
think that he's not saying it because there will be people that there's a lot of old men on the porch in West Virginia, and
Really? Enlighten
Yeah.
us
yes,
about.
they may be mad.
You get
They
the
may be
newsletter from that group?
What?
You get the newsletter from that group?
Yeah,
All right.
that's why I have it. That's why I know. No, I'm saying I think it's going to be Michael Hawkins. I think people will be a little mad because like Scotty Fox had a decent season last year. He brings someone in, whatever. But I think that it's really going to be a pretty much a dual package thing. Like I think there's going to be design plays for Scotty Fox. But if I had to guess which one I think will be taking most of the snaps, it would be Mike Hawkins.
I'm with you. See what the defense can do. They need to get better, Alex. Need
They
to be
were super
better.
bad last year, but they do have they got at least one safety coming in who's like a big fella, athletic. And we got, I mean, he is. He got. Did you see our
Big
secondary
fella.
last? Did you see our secondary last year? Just did not compete. But yeah, we actually brought in some people on defense. If they click and they work out, it will be great. But it's TBD. Stay healthy. Don't let people run right past you. Don't let people jump over you. Be big. Ollie, that's my advice for them.
Be bigger, be better.
Yes, be bigger and better this year, please.
Big fella.
Who else you got there, Alex? You got some guys in note.
We did get an interesting transfer in at running back from Jacksonville State. He had actually at Jacksonville State, he was only like 200 yards off West Virginia's total rushing yards last year. So while it is a different caliber of sports, there's a little bit of hope to be had that bringing in some run game, especially with like the Michael Hawkins, Scotty Fox kind of system, that athleticism, having to actually be worried about a running threat. There's also, I can't remember his name, but there's a true freshman who is going to be behind Cam Cook. So could be interesting offense. It's just for me going to be big on the defense. If they show up at wide receiver, Jaden Bray is a veteran receiver. He should be healthy this year. That Prince Strahan transferred from USC. He is a big wide receiver target. So all of a sudden you have a threat at quarterback to run or throw, and we may be able to get stuff done. There's Keon Hutchins coming from a junior college. He's going to be more the long down the field receiver. And then Teron Francis, we have a transfer from LSU. So we actually have a decent receiving core, a good prospect at running back, 2 serviceable quarterbacks, possibly, hopefully, and some changes at defense. If we get to 7-5 this year, I'll count it as like a step in the right direction. If we get to the 8-win mark, I'll be excited.
8 wins. We got
Last
5
year I
home
went-
games.
Last year, I went full bore and thought we were going to go undefeated and was very hurt. So I'm trying to actually make a reasonable expectation this year and saying that, 8 games winning would be great and bowl eligibility would be good. So,
Beat Pitt
oh, yeah. Well, yeah, not this year, but yeah.
last
In
year.
general, eat shit.
There it is.
And my sign off from WVU Talk is eat shit Pitt.
There we go. All right. That wraps up with the Big 12. Know where we stand in the Big 10 and the Big 12 this year. Any other, we'll say, teams of note we want to chat about before we wrap up our college football talk? LSU, feeling good about LSU, Notre Dame. Notre Dame going to make a run?
They're going to talk about it like they always do.
And if they don't, they're going to take their ball and go home.
Yeah. Cry about it.
All right. That's all we got for today.
Hey, it's a good start.
It's a good start. It's a good start to the football season, talking some college ball. Next week, we're going to cover the NFL, preparation for that season. We'll also have some week 0 college football talk. I didn't look. How many week 0 games are there, guys?
Hold, please.
3. Oh, shit.
There's 3 on like Thursday, maybe, and Friday.
1,
And
2,
then
3,
the
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games on Saturday.
And the only 2 that are worth a shit
Yeah,
are
thank you.
the TCU North Carolina game at noon in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, honestly, I'm really intrigued by the Jack State North Dakota State game in that small realm. USC also plays that day. That's the only ranked team that plays on Saturday.
I'll sit down and watch that.
Yeah, just to kind of get a glimpse of it. And then I guess really the only other game I would be interested in watching would be NC State at Virginia to open up a conference game to start the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably split screen that.
Yeah. That being said, not enough games for the betting show. No betting show Wednesday.
Oh, get out of here, Muff. We got to get the wheels back on the bus.
Muff, there's plenty of games on Thursday to bet on. And if you want, I mean,
games that actually want to bet on, Nate.
Well, I mean, you got some big spreads. You can take. We have ranked teams on Thursday. You got Missouri opening up. You got Utah on Thursday, and then on Friday, Oklahoma,
Illinois plays.
What are we going to say about these games? What's our discussion going to be?
How crazy are we going to get?
They're going to beat the wheels off that team, but are they going to beat them by 40?
Okay, wait a minute. Who is USC actually playing? Oh, never mind. That's Friday, September 4th I was looking at. Never mind. Scroll down too far.
See?
So, no, it's just
not enough.
Not
enough. Not enough. No betting.
Plus, I don't know if we're looking at the calendar right, Nate. I think you
no, because I set it to FBS. So really, it's just North Carolina TCU, San Jose State USC, and North Carolina State Virginia, and then Jacksonville State North Dakota State. All the other games.
Yeah, there's not enough, especially with our schedule that we're recording, because we'll catch the September 3rd games if we record on this. If we record the betting show before that. Yeah. We're good, Muff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's those, and there's some D2 games kicking off this week too.
Indeed.
We're not a mad bet like Nate.
There is.
Indeed. D2. Get pumped. All right. Until then, next week, we'll talk about the NFL, a little bit of week 0 recap, and get pumped for the college football week 1 ahead. Till that time, we make sure that you all tune in. Subscribe if you aren't already at Sports Jim Muff on Twitter, Sports Stuff with Jim Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding, ding.
get the bell on. Until that time, get pumped for the football season and tell a friend, make a friend, be a friend.